Welcome to Streaming News Network, where we deliver balanced reporting with the facts that matter. This edition is hosted by Claude McDaniel. Please like and subscribe.
This is Claude McDaniel and this is Streaming News Network. We begin with our first report. California Governor Gavin Newsom is facing criticism over a proposed wildfire liability plan that opponents say could shield major utility companies from financial responsibility for fires linked to their equipment. The proposal comes during the final weeks of the governor's legislative session and would limit the ability of wildfire survivors and insurance companies to recover damages from utility providers. Supporters say the plan protects wildfire victims, but survivor groups, consumer advocates, local governments, and insurers argue it weakens accountability. Critics point to past disasters involving utility equipment and say reducing financial consequences could discourage companies from improving safety measures. The debate also follows concerns from lawmakers who question whether utility companies are pressuring the state to approve liability changes. Supporters of the proposal argue reforms are needed, while opponents say California should prioritize wildfire victims over protecting corporate interests. The governor's office has not backed away from the plan, setting up a major political fight over responsibility, safety, and compensation for wildfire damage. This is Streaming News Network. An Oregon man who was shot multiple times after entering a business is suing the owner and the company for $10 million. Kenneth Voiles alleges that he entered Touchstone Granite and Marble through a damaged garage door while experiencing homelessness and looking for shelter. He acknowledges that he intended to take a drill bag. According to the lawsuit, the business owner, James Grant, confronted Voiles, who says he apologized before attempting to leave. Voiles claims he grabbed bolt cutters for protection and was then shot repeatedly. Grant disputes that account. He says Voiles became aggressive, raised the bolt cutters, and appeared ready to attack. Grant says he warned Voiles to get on the ground before firing because he believed his life was in danger. Voiles survived and is now seeking $5 million in compensatory damages and another $5 million in punitive damages. He is suing both Grant and the business, alleging assault, battery, negligence, and emotional distress. The lawsuit will ultimately put the competing claims of self-defense and excessive force before the legal system. This is Streaming News Network. An urgent search is underway in Japan for 12-year-old British girl Carmelita Lakdesha Paul, who disappeared during a family vacation in Tokyo. Japanese police say Paul was reported missing after leaving her family's rental accommodation in the Minamikamata area of Tokyo at approximately 8:30 a.m. on August 13. Her family had arrived in Japan from the United Kingdom on July 21. Police say Paul was last seen wearing a light blue sleeveless shirt, a black and white checkered skirt, black shoes, and carrying a pink handbag. Investigators reviewing surveillance footage determined that Paul traveled to Yokohama Station, approximately a 20-minute train journey from Kamata. Her movements after that remain unknown. Paul left her passport and mobile phone behind and was carrying only a small amount of cash. Japanese authorities are asking anyone with information to contact Kamata Police Station at 03-3731-0110. British officials say they are supporting the family and working with Japanese authorities. As of the latest reports, Paul has not been located. This is Streaming News Network. A Tennessee Teacher of the Year has resigned after accusing school administrators of pressuring her to change a failing student's grade. Samira Hardcastle, the 2025-2026 Teacher of the Year at John F. Kennedy Middle School in Antioch, resigned after 8 years with Metro Nashville Public Schools. Hardcastle told the school board that administrators directed her to change a failing grade after a parent challenged the student's performance. She refused, but says administrators ultimately changed the grade anyway. The district disputes her characterization, saying there was no written policy preventing the student from completing unfinished work. Officials say the student eventually completed the assignment and received a grade. Hardcastle also raised concerns about teacher vacancies and alleged payroll deductions that she says caused financial hardship. Another former teacher, Diana Wills, has made similar allegations involving directives to change failing grades. Wills called the practice unethical and potentially illegal and is now suing the district over her suspension. School officials characterize the disputes as disagreements over district policies and say the grade changes did not significantly affect students' final course outcomes. This is Streaming News Network. Two Florida parents are facing aggravated manslaughter and child neglect charges following the death of their 7-week-old daughter. Police say Gracie Jai Tellez, 20, and Robert Lee Ingram, 22, were responsible for the infant when she was found unresponsive at their Hollywood home in October 2025. According to investigators, the baby suffered severe injuries, including skull fractures, retinal bleeding, spinal hemorrhaging, and a traumatic brain injury. Doctors reportedly concluded the injuries were consistent with violent, non-accidental head trauma. The infant was declared brain dead several days later and died after being removed from life support. Investigators say the parents gave conflicting accounts of what happened and claimed they had been using their phones as baby monitors. However, police say forensic examinations found extensive overnight activity involving the video game Call of Duty and YouTube immediately before the baby was discovered unresponsive. The Broward County Medical Examiner determined the cause of death involved complications from blunt head trauma and classified the death as a homicide. The couple was arrested in Jacksonville on August 7 by the United States Marshals Service. They appeared in court this week and were ordered held without bond. The allegations remain subject to the court process. This is Streaming News Network. A major clarification has emerged concerning the late Memphis Grizzlies player Brandon Clarke and the remaining $12.5 million on his NBA contract. Earlier reports suggested Clarke's estate would not receive the final season of his contract after the deal was terminated following his death. However, new reporting indicates the contract was fully protected through life insurance. The arrangement reportedly required Memphis to reimburse the cost of insurance protecting against Clarke's death. As a result, while the Grizzlies may not pay the remaining amount as traditional salary, the life insurance policy is expected to cover the full $12.5 million. Clarke signed a 4-year extension with Memphis in 2022 that was reported at the time to be worth up to $52 million. Clarke died May 11 at age 29. His 7-year NBA career was spent entirely with the Grizzlies, where he averaged 10.2 points and 5.5 rebounds over 309 regular season games. Authorities later determined his death was accidental and caused by the effects of heroin and cocaine. The latest financial development means Clarke's estate is now expected to receive the full remaining $12.5 million, providing significant financial protection for his family. This is Streaming News Network. Georgia is putting new limits on homeowners associations following growing complaints about aggressive enforcement of community rules. Governor Brian Kemp signed the Georgia Property Owners Bill of Rights Act on May 12. The law gives homeowners greater access to association records and requires property owners associations to register with the Secretary of State. One of the biggest changes involves foreclosure. The amount of debt an association can pursue before seeking foreclosure has doubled from $2,000 to $4,000. Homeowners facing collection disputes can also file a written complaint with the state, potentially pausing collection activity while the matter is reviewed. The reforms gained attention after the case of Florida resident Irina Green, who reportedly spent 7 days in jail over property-related disputes involving issues such as grass and a damaged garage door, while also facing a foreclosure threat. The debate has national significance. An estimated 77 million Americans live under some form of homeowners or community association. Supporters say Georgia's law restores balance between homeowners and powerful association boards. Critics and reform advocates, however, warn that new laws will only matter if they are consistently enforced. Officials in several other states are reportedly considering similar measures. This is Streaming News Network. A North Carolina teacher and girls basketball coach has been stabbed to death inside her Raleigh home, and police say her boyfriend has been arrested in Pennsylvania. Shiremi Gwinnett Dillard, 57, was found dead Thursday afternoon after family members reported that they had been unable to reach her. Police say Dillard suffered multiple stab wounds. Investigators determined that her boyfriend, Ricky Harper, had left the area and used camera footage to track his vehicle. Pennsylvania police located Harper in Plymouth on Friday afternoon. He was arrested and charged with first-degree murder in Dillard's death. Dillard was a teacher and girls basketball coach at Felton Grove High School in Apex, where she had worked since last year. She was also remembered at Carborough High School, where she had previously spent years teaching and coaching women's basketball. School officials described Dillard as a beloved educator, coach, colleague, and advocate who treated students and fellow staff members like family. Both school communities are now mourning her death and offering support to students and staff affected by the tragedy. The murder investigation remains ongoing, and the charges against Harper are allegations that will be addressed in court. This is Streaming News Network. Ben Affleck is celebrating his 54th birthday with a busy career and major changes in his personal life. This fall, Affleck returns to Netflix with Animals, a thriller premiering October 9th. He stars in the film while also serving as director, co-writer, and producer. The project reunites him professionally with longtime collaborator Matt Damon. The past year has also brought significant personal challenges. Affleck finalized his divorce from Jennifer Lopez, and in July, he and his brother Casey Affleck announced the death of their mother, Chris Ann Affleck, at age 83 following pancreatic cancer. Affleck has also received public praise from his former wife, Jennifer Garner. She described him as an exceptional co-parent to their 3 children and said his involvement has given her greater freedom to pursue acting projects. Professionally and personally, Affleck appears to be embracing life in his 50s. In a past interview, he said one of the benefits of reaching that age is becoming less concerned about what other people think. As Affleck enters another year, he has a new film ahead, a changing family dynamic, and plenty of reasons to celebrate. I am Claude McDaniel for Streaming News Network. Thank you for watching and staying informed.
Thank you for viewing Streaming News Network videos, and also short and special reports. Please like, subscribe, and tap the bell to be notified of additional reports.